I wonder if it's better to ask for forgiveness than it is permission. I wonder if CC still feels that way. Hi and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another walk and talk. A lot has happened in the crypto space in a very short period of time. So we're going to be diving down into a lot of crypto talk. We're going to be talking about what I think is going to be happening now. We've seen some pretty big developments with Binance, CC and the SEC. As I get into today's video, and as I try to navigate this crazy world of mud that I find myself in once again, and you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. Maybe you'll find it entertaining as I fall down in this muddy forest. Or wood. I think it's a wood. So if you're new to the channel, this is just a segment where I pick up the camera, I take a bit of a walk away from the desk and I talk about what's going on in crypto. Obviously with the turn of the weather, it gets pretty muddy. So we're going to probably try to figure out a way forward where I don't have to kind of work my way through this. But yeah, let's actually just work my way through here and then we're going to get into everything that's been going on in the space at the moment. So Binance has settled with the SEC. Again, one of those things that I personally didn't see coming. I thought that they would have gone the whole hog and seen what happens at court, but apparently it's best to settle. I think, they're not necessarily wrong here. I think, yeah, it probably is in the best interest of the community for a settlement with the SEC, but wow, what an astonishing figure, right? The largest in the US kind of history here. $4 billion settlement with the SEC. Do we think that punishment fits the crime? I'm not so sure. I think that's a little bit steep, considering we see the likes of HSBC, settling with the authorities for a few $100 billion, and we've been laundering money for the cartel. Not saying they're doing that now, but they've been caught doing it in the past. That seems a little bit on the steep side, to be honest with you. But $4 billion down, CC stepping down from Binance. What does this mean for the crypto space? And well, it's a pretty big development, and I don't think it actually is going to change all too much. Now, I think the settlement with the SEC, with the US, is actually probably in the best interest of the crypto community. So CZ stepping down could be interesting. It might be a bit of a development there in terms of, what that might mean for Binance as a company, but I'm just not seeing it as a reason to kind of panic, withdraw funds from Binance. And even if there is some panicking going on there around the exchange, I don't think it's going to cause terribly too much problem for Binance as a whole. I think they're very well funded. I can't see a run happening on Binance to a point where they're going to be, significantly impacted by it. Now, I could be wrong on that, but a settlement, $4 billion, CZ stepping down is actually pretty positive for Binance. It means they can finally get on with everything that they need to, okay? So this kind of lawsuit being put to bed, putting it behind Binance is actually really positive. It isn't something to kind of be too concerned with, in my opinion. Actually just makes the exchange potentially now a little bit more, I guess, confident in the exchange going forward, rather than kind of panicking about what might come next. So I'm actually pretty positive here. I think the price, the $4 billion for settling on these allegations and these crimes doesn't quite fit to me. It doesn't really make a lot of logical sense for such a steep number. But that being said, it's good to kind of see everything kind of be put back or put to bed, and people can finally get on with everything as it were previously. So for everything that's going on with Binance, I'm not too concerned. But of course, there are some concerns with the Binance Smart Chain, right? Binance Smart Chain is actually not Binance. It's actually quite well distributed at this point. It's pretty much community based. Now, don't get me wrong, Binance are still involved, but they're not to the same kind of degree. Now, Chris did put together a bit of a thread on Twitter, now known as X, explaining everything on the Binance Smart Chain and why we're not that concerned about the Binance Smart Chain as an entity being something that could be affected by this recent news. Now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be some panicking going on from retail investors, but I really don't think there's any need for that myself. So all in all, it's been a pretty interesting few hours, right? With everything that is unfolding here around Binance, CZ and so forth. But you know, what's actually been going on? Well, not terribly too much, right? So outside of that, have we really seen the markets being impacted? And not really. We can see that Bitcoin was moving down anyway. It was kind of moving in that direction. As per the last several days worth of videos that I've been putting out, we're just moving down naturally to the area that we're looking for before we have that last push up towards $38,000 to $40,000, right? So nothing really has been impacted from a Bitcoin price action, and nothing really is outside of the norm on the altcoins that I've been looking at either. Everything is kind of moving along as expected. Not that I like saying that, but it is true, right? Nothing here is unusual from the price action point of view, considering such a huge piece of fundamental news. And if there were to be mass panic, then it would have been reflected in the price much earlier. And Binance, you know, historically over the last few months, and years in fact, has been number one in terms of trading volume, and it hasn't changed even after the lawsuit was dropped on Binance. And so for the most part, am I concerned about anything here? No. I think everything is kind of just moving along as expected in the world of crypto. And so I am expecting some more volatility. I am expecting, you know, to kind of hear more fundamental news from Binance as new leadership takes control. And usually when there's leadership changes, they like to put their stamp on things. So expect some changes at Binance, right? And I don't think that's going to be too unusual. That's not, in my opinion, going to cause mass panic or mass sell-off events where we see immediate rejections to the downside or anything like that. So I'm not too concerned about that. I don't think it's going to be the big catalyst for a pullback to the downside that I am expecting to occur. I do think there is going to be a pull to the downside. It is going to be of significance, but it isn't going to be generated from Binance, unless of course Binance goes bankrupt, which I cannot see happening. Okay, I could be wrong on that, but I just can't see it. But you know, we'll see, right? We'll see how everything kind of unfolds in the coming weeks and months. So price action is pretty much unaffected outside of kind of what we're already tracking, kind of what we're already looking for in the world of crypto. Some fundamental news and some pretty big lifestyle changes for CZ. I mean, 6.5 years without a day off, you know, without a phone in his hand. Yeah, I get that, right? I'm three and a bit years into this where I've worked every single day for, I don't even know how many hours a day, along with Chris, right? And so, yeah, I can feel the pain, right? It'd be nice to kind of get some time off and chill out for a little bit. It'd be interesting to see what he does after. But I think it's going to be a bit of a cultural shock for ZZ, taking that time out to kind of get on with life, right? Because life just happens to pass by so quickly, and you just don't really notice it until it's potentially too late. Hence why I come out on these walks, right? Not just about getting exercise, getting away from the desk, but just remembering there's a world outside of those charts. And so, yeah, good luck to CZ. Good luck to trying to adapt it back into the world after 6.5 years of what just feel like being kind of, you know, running a company and being 24/7, 365 for years. It's going to take some time to adjust, I would have thought. So good luck to CZ on that one, in my opinion. He'll hopefully flourish in what the world happens to bring him next. In terms of Binance, I'm okay with it. I still keep some crypto on there, but you're talking minor stuff really. I still use it as an exchange. I have no problems with Binance. I think it's going to still be absolutely fine. But for clarity, the crypto that I keep on there, I am well and truly comfortable with losing should something happen to Binance. if that happens to kind of come to fruition. Obviously, as we often say on the channel, not your keys, not your crypto. Make sure you have some kind of cold storage device. There's plenty of links in the description below, guys, if you haven't already done so. They're really easy to use and they help protect you so you don't succumb to some of the scam exchanges like FTX, etc., and all that kind of stuff. So well worth kind of checking out hardware wallets if you haven't done so already. But I think Binance will be perfectly fine. I think the markets are going to be okay. I'm looking for a rebound to the upside soon. Not yet, but soon. And I think we're going to see some pretty decent runs, once we have that next big correction to the downside. So I'm pretty confident in 2024 being a pretty good year for crypto. We just kind of have to get through the next few months of volatility. I'm going to leave the video there though, guys. If you have found it useful and informative of me kind of just running way through a wood, why not smash that like button? I appreciate that. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And if you haven't joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out, linked in the description below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.